Oh yeah, Black Sun in the Hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. So yeah, it's Wrestling Wednesdays, man. So we're gonna get down. Oh, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time tonight on Wrestling Wednesdays. Y'all know how we do.
Denied. Got my money up, turn that H to a dollar sign. Chicks and be the promoter like it's pop time.
Let's get fucking like a monkey, baby. Whether you like it or don't like it, sit down and look at it because it's the best going today.
What I'd like to have right now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
It's showtime, folks!
And what's it gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Who's next?
Hey! How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Cause that's the bottom line. To Stone Cold Simpson.
Get ready! Woo! We are on tour and we're doing it better than anybody else alive! What time is it? Tell me what time it is! You're talking to the Rolex! Wearing, kid stealing, woo! Wheeling dealing! Limousine right! Jet flying! Son of a gun! And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down! Woo! But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah. Can you dig it, sucker?
Not afraid of any man in this arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
First of all, I'm not afraid of The Undertaker, not afraid of Bret Hart, not afraid of you, not afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, not afraid of any man in this arena, not afraid of any man who walks on this earth.
Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see?
I am fearless.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Wednesday.
So we picked a Wednesday night to come do this show. Get ready for this. When I come to the arena, I'm gonna leave you some memories. Make sure you there. Cause there's gonna be some blood and guts left all over that ring. And it ain't gonna be mine.
Oh yeah, Black Sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. What up, what up, what up, Trevor? What up?
What's up? What's up?
Venkat, is that you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what up,
Yeah,
man?
so before we start, because every time I get off for whatever reason, you guys go into this conversation. So I need 2 minutes uninterrupted because I got a bone to pick. I got a bone to pick with you two.
Okay.
And it was from last time you guys were talking about Sting.
Yeah.
And here's a big misconception that both of you say. So I mean, and I can't let y'all guys go into 2023 running with this false narrative. Triple H had nothing to do with Sting's booking in WWE. That was under Vince McMahon's run. I agree that had Sting come in earlier, Vince would have probably jobbed him out and had him losing to everybody. I agree with that. So you're not going to get no disagreements from me for that. And I also agree that he should have beat Triple H. Right. I agree. There was no reason for Triple H to beat him.
Everybody in wrestling believes that.
Oh, hold on. That 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. I believe he should have beat Triple H. But in the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter. They still did massive numbers at that WrestleMania. They still got massive paydays. The bigger match would have been Undertaker Sting, but it was a Vince McMahon call. Because every time I get off the phone for whatever reason, you guys always put that on Triple H. Triple H had nothing to do with that. So now let's get. Oh, man. So now let's get in the Sting's. Now let's get in the Sting's WWF run. Sting's WWE run was better than anything he's doing right now on AEW because Sting got a Hall of Fame nod out of it. Sting got a ridiculous WWE video game deal. He got a Hasbro toy deal. And, you know, everybody's going to point to the match that he had with Seth Rollins where he got hurt on the buckle bomb. That could have happened to anybody. But the fact that now at 60 plus years old, he's jumping off tables and stuff. And whenever I mention Sting to people, they'd be like, oh, is he still wrestling? Meaning that nobody knows where the hell he is. AEW is a pimple on the ass of God. and I'm done.
So what I was referring to was the loss. Like, no, Sting should have never lost that match. So I was alluding to that. Now, as far as Sting was already marketable before he even came to WWE. So even if they would, I mean, that was kind of, I mean, I hear what you're saying about the marketing with the video games and the dolls and all that. They could have already done that with Sting even before he even did a match, because Sting already has a name that rings out. You know, with world-class wrestling, with Mid-Atlantic South, with was it UWF Alliance? What, correct me if I'm
UWF.
Yeah, man. So I mean, you got to understand the old school. You got to understand the establishment is already there with Sting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go back to the Surfer Sting. I'm talking even before Black and White Sting. I'm talking about Surfer Sting with the damn Crew Army haircut. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was already marketable a long time ago. You know, so yeah, that's not. I mean, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Sting didn't need to wrestle in WWE, but the fact that he did was just an added bonus. They put him in a world title match. He hasn't sniffed the world title in AEW.
Well, I hear what you're saying about AEW. However, I think the like, okay, so when I saw the Triple H Sting match, man, I was just that completely turned me off, man. I was like, what? And I was like, no,
So,
this is, and that did it for me.
Do you think the match was bad? Do you think the match was bad?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Why?
It's ridiculous because at the end of the match, Sting took a hit from Triple H with that stupid mallet or whatever the hell that hammer that he has. And he goes down. You're supposed to sell it like, oh my God, I've been brutalized. And then within less than a minute from the time he gets pinned, now he gets up. So clearly it didn't hurt. So now you're just showing, you know, you're discrediting whatever little story you had between
Have you watched wrestling in the last 20 years?
Huh?
Have you watched any wrestling in the past 10 years?
I know, but still, I mean, they should be better at it now than what they did back then.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be better. That would be like Steph Curry not being able to shoot right now. You get better as time goes on. You're supposed to get better at the craft, not worse. And something like selling a devastating hit from a sledgehammer, that shouldn't be hard to pull off. So now he gets pinned, he gets up, there's no hurt, and now you're shaking the hand of the guy that just cheated to beat you.
Right, yeah.
Like the whole thing made no coherent sense at all. And what was the end game here? What were you going to get out of this? It seemed like that world title shot by Seth Rollins was like, oh, damn, we peed the bed. Here's a way to make it up by giving you the title shot, which he was supposed to win the title. But then Seth Rollins, he was. They said that he was supposed to win the title. He was slated to win the title. Yes, he was. It's a matter. This is a known thing. He's going to win the title.
I'm not buying a 60-year-old man as the champion of my federation. No, sir.
Oh Lord, no. But we're gonna accept Vince McMahon being your champion, right?
He's the owner. He can do whatever he wants. That was terrible too. That was terrible.
You make 60 sound like you make 60 years old sound like you're dead. Sylvester Stallone could beat down half the roster. He's 75 or something. You saw Sylvester Stallone lately?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Get out of here with that.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So, hold on, let me pull my list up.
Yep.
So and then that'll give you guys time to shit on all my picks, because I know you're going to.
Of course.
But what I will say is this, like I was explaining to Venkat, you're not going to see a Luthez on my list. You're not going to see Bruno Sammartino Pedro Morales, because when those guys were great, but I was born in the 80s. I never got to see those guys work. So I can't say just because they were great to my parents, I never saw them. So what I'm basically focusing my list on is from like 1985 when I started watching to 2022. So that's what I'm encompassing, my top 10. And this is and these are, well, when I get into my picks, you'll see why my reasoning for saying this, because I mean, you got hundreds of thousands of wrestlers, and it's hard as hell to pick 10 that you think are the best. I mean, if we went to a top 20, maybe the list would have been, you know, ironed out a little bit better. But like, these are guys that I think that the industry is left better having these guys in there. So that's my criteria.
All right. And,
I don't know.
And we're about to have MD. MD's going to join us too.
Oh, MD's coming in.
Yeah.
You got a list, MD, or what? You want to rock out? What?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, shit. Because Solar. Because I was talking to Solar on the phone earlier, and he was like, when I told him, I said, "Yeah, we got a wrestling show today on Wednesday." He was like, "What, a wrestling show?" He said, "You mean you guys talk about?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, come on over." Like, what you talking about? I said, "Shit, it's the wrestling. This wrestling Wednesdays."
That's right.
What,
that's
MD in the chat or what?
Yeah, MD. Yeah, he said give him a second. Yeah, he's in the chat right now.
Oh, okay.
He's in the chat right now.
Hey, Trevor, I just wanted to say real quick in regards to what you were saying, which is logical what you're saying. You know, you hadn't been around, so you're recusing yourself from commenting on the past because you hadn't been around during that time. I mean, it makes sense, and I get it, but I just feel like there's just certain people and certain contributions that is kind of hard to gloss over or not recognize. So yeah, you'll see when it's not like a bunch of older wrestlers or whatnot, but there's just some guys.
See what he just did?
What
You see what he just did? Just because I'm not gonna include Mr. Wrestling on my list. You see what he did? He already
I'm just saying, some of these guys are important, man. These guys are important. They've done like monumental things, you know, and we got to recognize some of those things.
Yeah, if maybe I was doing like a top 50, because a lot of these guys that you guys, I mean, just because I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, because that's what I'm gonna do when I'm in the league. I'm gonna say a lot of stuff that's gonna piss everybody else. I might as well just do it now. Just because Bruno Sammartino had like this ridiculous ass title reign doesn't mean that he would draw a dime in today's climate. That's what I'm saying. My list is guys that if you put them right now with their charisma and everything, they still would draw mega money.
I don't know about that, because again, yes, this time is different, but back then is different as well.
That's true.
So for Bruno to sell out the Madison Square Garden, like it was almost 200 times. Nobody else has done that. And it still stands today. You can't ignore that. So, I mean, these guys that you're talking about right now, they're here right now and they go to Madison Square Garden. I don't hear of anybody doing that. So he did it way back then.
You know, WWE still sells out Madison Square Garden, right?
But tell me a guy on their roster that have sold out Madison Square Garden more times than Bruno.
They don't. You can't look at it that way, because during Bruno's time, that's all they ran was Madison Square Garden, the Boston Garden. What was it called? The Boston Arena back then. That's all they ran was the Boston Garden. That's all they ran was that East Coast, Upper East Coast area. Now they're doing worldwide, so you can't. It's not like they're saying, "Okay, I got Madison Square Garden on my list 200 times a day."
But Trevor, your whole argument will make sense had it have been a bunch of guys before and after Bruno that it did it, and it didn't. You can't point to a guy before him or after him. So obviously he's the common denominator. He's unique.
The business model
the
business model changed.
I understand that, but in his time, he could only work with what he has. Just like in the future, whatever we're doing now will be irrelevant and there'll be something else. But I'm just saying, you can't discount or disregard what this guy did in his time for that moment, and it's still highly regarded. It's kind of like Wilt Chamberlain, where all these modern players are trying to say they're better or whatnot. But Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in the game. We're still waiting for that guy to beat it.
And he probably had a shitty team too. I bet if you looked at the team around him, he had to score 100 points.
But again, nobody before him and nobody after him has done that. I'm just saying. This guy has averaged 50 points a game, and he's also averaged about 30 some odd rebounds a game and done it multiple seasons. That's not a regular thing. And it's still guys that are playing today that have more chances because they play more games than he did in his time. They're still not able to do it. So same thing with wrestling.
He had a shitty team around him. I could bet you anything.
I'm just saying, it's a cop-out. It's like ways to legitimize what's going on today. You just gotta tip your hat to that guy. That guy is amazing.
So listen, because what I just said made all the sense in the world. Back then, when Bruno,
wasn't a narcissistic statement.
when Bruno was selling out the Garden. Yeah. Listen, when Bruno was selling out the Garden, they were running the Garden like 200 times a year. They don't. You know how many times they run the Garden now? Twice, because everybody says that the rents at the Garden is still like the highest thing in the world. So they're going out selling out other buildings. Bruno, if you put Bruno Sammartino, and it ain't no slight against him, he's great. But if you was to put him in today's wrestling climate, these wrestling fans would call him boring, first of all. They'd look at him and they'd be like, man, he doesn't do any high spots. He doesn't do any flips or dives. You know what I mean?
No, but you're taking the time, updating the time, and then you're not updating the guy. So if Bruno was in this time, don't you think he would have materialized certain skills and qualities that we see in today's wrestlers and adapted to the time? That's what I'm saying. It's like we can't just.
And Bruno was like he wasn't even 6 feet. He wasn't even 6 feet. He wasn't even 6 feet tall. Come on, man.
So now we're going on that mentality that Vince McMahon had, where we're holding back little guys getting held back because we have a limited mentality. That's a great strategy, by the way. Awesome strategy. You'll make millions doing that.
Oh shit! Come on, MD. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Hey, hold on. Let me go grab a beer. I'll be right back because y'all gonna piss me off tonight. I can tell. Let me go get something to drink. Hold on. So what? Damn, what the hell was I gonna say? So my list. First of all, how are we going? I mean, I'll go first. It doesn't matter. You can go first, Bankhead, if you want, because y'all will be against me anyway. So
no. We'll start with you, and then we'll move over. It'll be me. I mean, you, me, then Blackson, then we'll go MD, and all the way down that way.
All right. So, contribution wise, my number 10 spot is shared. I got two guys on here. No.
You need to do an honorable mention. One of those guys got to be an honorable mention.
No. Well, it's 10A and 10B then. We're going to do it that way.
Man, it's honorable mention, man. Don't be playing that junk.
You have to listen why. Because these two guys changed. Wait a minute, man. Hold on, man. These two guys revolutionized the way we look at the small guys, the so-called, according to Kevin Nash, the vanilla midgets. And these guys honed their craft all over the world. And they had one had a very huge Hispanic following, and one had let me just do it. My number 10 spot goes to Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Ugh. And you know how hard it is for me to put Chris Benoit on anything.
he needs to be. I hope he's in hell if there is one. Like I you know how hard it is for me to put him on anything, but I can't.
But you gotta judge him
look,
by his work. You gotta judge him by his
yeah,
work.
that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Strictly work rate. No one was better than him in ring, and that's all I'm looking at.
So wait a minute. So who is the honorable mention and who is actually number 10?
Eddie Guerrero's number 10 and Chris Benoit, but they're identical. To me, they're identical. One is Mexican and one is Canadian. They're identical.
No, that's cool. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
They're identical. What old fart you got at number 10?
Okay. All right. My number 10 is going to be Macho Man Randy Savage. There's a lot of people that got bumped up and down and around on my list. Yeah. I thought in my mind Macho Man was going to be higher than 10, but he almost got knocked out. But I have to have him in there because obviously the work ethics that he has. He's a wrestler that's known for mapping out entire spots to entire matches, pushing the guys that he's working with, letting them know, hey, I expect this kind of quality, and they'll go over their matches and whatnot. And it shows for the history that he has. He came up in the time of the ignorance of Vince McMahon, limiting the smaller guys. And still, his work ethics and the way he plays in the ring still powered him over to the top, making him one of the few guys in the 80s to win that WWF title post-Hulkamania era. So that says a lot. So I'm going Macho Man number 10. He made a huge dent, and people still to this day are motivated and inspired by him.
So what I'll say to Macho Man is he's not on my top 10 list because he couldn't be number 2. So the respect that I had for him, if he couldn't hold that number 2 position, because me like you, I bumped him up and down to where if I thought he was a solid number 2, but the guy I got at number 2, there's no comparison. So I couldn't put him in the top 10, but definitely top 20.
Oh God, I got to see who that number 2 is. You got me thinking here now.
Yeah, got me too. Shit. I'm gonna say, as far as powerhouse, I'm gonna say Nikita Koloff. You know, just one of the bruisers.
That's a good pick right there. That's a great pick.
Yeah, just okay. All right.
That's a great. What is so funny about Nikita Koloff? The Russian Nightmare.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like just as far as brute strength, just sheer strength. He was the first. He was the one actually bringing that whole era. Just that powerhouse era before the Goldbergs, before
the Russian Sickle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't understand. Wait a minute. What is the disrespect for Nikita Koloff?
I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Niggas ain't getting up off that Russian Sickle. When he hit you with that Russian Sickle, your ass ain't getting up off that shit, bro.
Hey, Lex Luger better be on your list then, because if you got Nikita Koloff and no Lex Luger,
I probably would have went with the Berserker over Nikita though.
The Berserker? What the frick?
Oh, God.
No, that's a questionable.
Solar what?
The Berserker.
Yeah, you Solar Ryan for real.
In my top 10. But I would take the Berserker over Nikita Koloff.
You mean as far as sure strength, Solar?
Wait a minute. You know, the Berserker is like one of those ham and eggers, as Bobby Eaton would say.
Yeah,
on the weekend.
John Nord, right? This is right. John Nord, right?
Right. No title wins, no main events, no real epic match.
But look, this is the thing. I go by the actual quality of the character that they act in. I add that into it.
Okay, so you like the cat. Okay, you're a character. You're a character.
Yeah. So that's like an element in how I'm making my decision. You know.
Okay.
He did stab the Undertaker one time.
Yeah, he gave Undertaker a little bit of problems. He gave Undertaker a little bit of problems, a little bit. He gave Undertaker some problems.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, at 10. At 10, I got Benoit. Nobody can match his work rate.
That's a good pick right there.
Nobody in ever
can match his work rate. Period. Point blank.
I can't disagree.
He's the prototype of in terms of like what wrestlers today were watching then. Like he's one of the top 3. So yeah, I'm going with Benoit at 10.
So let me ask you, because both of us picked Benoit. Would you why didn't we put the Dynamite Kid there instead?
Well,
because that's basically who he patented his career after.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't put Dynamite Kid there because in terms of relevancy, even though Benoit labeled his career from Dynamite Kid, like as far as relevancy and what we look at today, like he's pretty much not relevant at all. And you know, I give the charisma edge to Benoit too, and that's hard to say because he ain't got none. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know, I give that edge to him too. But Benoit was able to modernize what Dynamite Kid was doing. You know what I mean?
Plus he had all that
my number
success with titles.
Right. Yeah. And the title. Yeah. You know, Dynamite Kid, even though like he was a bigger single star in Japan than he was ever in the States. You got to get that edge to Benoit too. Like as far as like single run, you know what I mean? When you think Dynamite Kid in the U.S., more than likely you're gonna think British Bulldog. More than likely.
Right.
Yeah. You're right.
100.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's solid.
All right. My number nine is based
Oh,
off
wait.
of this.
I ain't do my number 10.
Yeah, you did.
No. I said I'll take Berserker over.
Okay.
My number 10.
Okay.
That's
all
right.
right.
No, I ain't taking no damn Berserker. My number 10. My number 10 will be Mr. Perfect. That's my number 10.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Fantastic pick, boy.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect is my number 10.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
Another guy that Vince never gave a chance to run with the big belt. He should have been WWF champion at least twice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, didn't he have the Intercontinental?
Yeah, but he had the Intercontinental. But normally in WWF, when you win the IC belt, then you're next in line for the big belt. But they just never saw him. No, never. I mean, he won the AWA title, but that ain't shit. Like, you know.
Still
no, did he ever win? Wait a minute. Did he ever win Did he ever win it?
I think he did. I think he did.
Yeah, I think so too.
I gotta remember.
Yeah, he won the AWA title. Yeah, because before that he was AWA tag with Scott Hall, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. Every so often you get a wrestling moment that it makes me cry, like makes me get emotional. And I never forget where I was when this guy won the world title. And just like the reason why my daughter loves Bianca Belair so much is because she represents us. She looks like us. My number 9 is Mr. 5-time WC champion Booker T.
Oh, nice.
Yep. That's a good pick too.
Yeah, he's in my list. Actually. Yep, he's actually in my list.
Good pick. Can't really say nothing bad about that pick.
Oh well, geez, thank you. and let's not forget though, Booker T. They set Booker T up to fail when he came over to the big leagues.
Yeah.
Yep.
He went and he managed to get over all that shit, and he was one that didn't let his Time Warner contract. He didn't sit it out. He wanted to prove himself, and he's a legend, man. Booker T, and he's still wrestling to this day. That's the old guy that I'd like to see wrestle, not 60-year-old Sting.
Oh my God!
Oh,
you need to learn some respect for Sting, man.
Yeah, man.
He's still doing his thing.
Yeah, and he's in my top 10, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
Mine too.
Okay,
right,
so
man,
I'm gonna go with my number 9. Okay. My number 9 is going to be Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Got him. Ooh, you got him that low, huh? Ooh.
He almost fell out of it. to be honest, and I had to push.
I can see that.
And the reason I pushed to keep him in is because you cannot deny his charisma, his interviewing skills. When he's in the ring, he's very good. He's a good servable in the ring. He can perform very well. The slight against him that holds him back is his run. Essentially, The Rock debuted in '96. By 2001, he was off to Hollywood. Yeah, he was off in Hollywood by 2001. So he doesn't even clock in barely 5-6 years is what he got. So that's what keeps bringing him down. Now, if The Rock was like you don't have to be Ric Flair or The Undertaker doing that 20, 30, 40-year thing, but if he would have just got a solid 15 years in, he could possibly be the #1 guy of all time. But I put him at 9 just because he was so strong, especially when he came from what he started with the goofy smile and the weird haircut and the weird attire and people booing him. And then he just said, forget you idiots. You don't see what's good here. I'm going to show you. And then he just did his own thing and he did it his way. And he forced people to like him pretty much. You could not deny him. I remember the first time I heard of him, I didn't even know who he was. He was in Florida in the Fashion Mall in Davie. And he was in the mall, and I'm like, so seeing all these people around him. I like, who is that guy? I don't even know who he is. This was like back in '99, and then shortly after I found out who he was. But yeah, I got to give him a lot of credit. I got to give him a lot of credit for how his career went. So I'm going with The Rock.
I ain't got no problems with that. Black Sun, who is it? Black Sun?
Yeah, my turn. My number 9 is Rick Rude.
That's a good one.
That's a workhorse in the ring right there.
Yeah,
man, I ain't even had my joint muted out. I'm sitting up here.
That's a son of man. That's a good pick.
Yeah, just he's one of the best technical / bruisers that I like. He has a combination of both. Yeah. But he's technical, but he's really Rick Rude is definitely on that borderline between technical and bruiser. So yeah.
All his hits look good.
Right, solid. Very solid. And he's also very good at angles and feuds. You talk about him and Jake the Snake. When Jake the Snake came, now he was wearing Jake the Snake's wife on his tights. Jake the Snake came down there.
That was a good one. That was a good beef right there. That was a classic beef right there. That was a classic beef right there.
The time when he took the snake to Macho Man and he was biting him. The snake was biting him on his arm. They had to blur that out a little bit. That was a crazy moment. You look at his feud. As soon as he came in,
that nigga had no damn teeth in his mouth.
They devenomized it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shocking moment.
That shit looked crazy shit. I remember that.
that was a shocking moment at the time. Like, oh my God, what the hell is going on?
They was creative as hell back then, bro. They shit, bro.
Right. And then he came right into WCW, and he had an instant jolt of excitement to WCW. He helped push and create a lot of energy and excitement instantly. He went off with Sting, and he just kept running with Ricky Steamboat. Everything he was involved in, there was always something to watch there. He was a part of DX. Even when he wasn't wrestling, he was a part of DX. He was just great. He should have gotten a lot more.
Rick Rude was a perfect heel. He's the perfect heel, man. I mean, damn.
Yes. I agree.
Okay, cool. All right, my number 9, man, the excellence of execution. The Hitman, Bret Hart. Number 9.
Damn, that low?
Trevor has a problem with certain names. Between Sting and Bret Hart, he has a problem with these names. I don't get it.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Oh,
Bret Hart.
God,
tell him.
When Vince asked him to do something back in the day, he did it, and he did it well. He was the quintessential worker in WWF. That's what he was. He worked. He didn't ask for much. All he wanted to do was work. He was supposed to be a bridge champion, and he got over, and Vince didn't like it. Vince and Shawn, and even with Shawn, he still put Shawn over the way you're supposed to put him over.
Yep.
The quintessential work rate, the best work rate in WWF by far, until Benoit got there. You know what I mean? Or until he left, until Brett left. The best worker by far in WWF.
I agree.
Everything he was asked to do, he did it, and he did it 100%.
True.
Like, so what about his WCW run?
Man,
he did good there too.
I said WWF. I said WWF. I ain't
but
even.
He still did good. He won the title multiple times. He achieved a lot.
He killed WCW.
Oh,
he
Lord,
killed WCW.
The best
they got a
match
conspiracy theory.
The best match. Yeah, the best match he had in WCW was with Benoit, the tribute match. That was it.
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah,
that's the best match he had. So I ain't even counting that. I'm talking about everything that he did from Hart Foundation on to Screwjob. That's it.
Damn.
That's the best Bret Hart you're gonna get, and it was a damn good Bret Hart. Like I said, work rate phenomenal. Nobody could top it.
Yeah, he's in my top 10 too.
So that's my number 9.
All right, Solar is on you.
My number 9 is DiBiase. Ted DiBiase.
The thief.
See, you going old school. Yeah, you going.
Yeah.
You really like characters. I can see that.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part. How you gonna leave that part out?
Yeah.
How you gonna leave that part out? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, Ted DiBiase was yeah. That's my number 9.
I ain't got no another person that should have been champion.
Do you think so?
No, yeah. You know when Macho Man won the title at WrestleMania 4, that was supposed to be DiBiase, but because Honky Tonk Man didn't want to drop the title to Macho Man, they put Macho Man as the winner in the main event versus DiBiase. That was, and which is why they created the $1 million title as kind of just to keep him, to make him happy. Yeah, like a consolation prize that he should have been champion. But yeah, he was supposed to be champion. But Honky Tonk Man messed it all up. All right. So my number 8, and whoever hear this is gonna be pissed because they're gonna give me 100 different names before this guy. But again, I look at pure wrestling savvy, and this guy I saw this guy live a bunch of times. He is a absolute pro. If he wouldn't have let his demons get in the way, he could have been the greatest of all time, but he did. So he's my number 8, and it goes to the wrestling machine, Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah. Oh, we tied him.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's awesome. Can't talk bad about Kurt Angle, man. That guy's amazing.
You Angle? Oh shit. Okay. Shit.
Had that guy not gotten to like drugs and shit, like this dude would have been. We would have been talking about him on the level of greatest of all time. I really believe so.
He is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, still. Yeah, still. Yeah. Even though with all that crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's one that could have died early too. He had situations where he could have been dead earlier as well too. So it's good. All right, so with my number 8, I'm gonna go with one of my personal favorites, Big Van Vader, the greatest big man in the history of wrestling. He won over 25 world titles around the world. His Japan run is legendary. The fights he had with, you can't even call them matches, the fights he had with Stan Hansen, where Vader's eyeball popped out during the match. He's had some tough, brutal situations. Him and Cactus Jack. Vader. Vader cutting off pretty much cutting off the ear of Cactus Jack in Germany. Just a lot of legendary things. The broken back of rookie Joe Thurman, where you could hear his back crunching from the powerbomb. His career started and ended the same day. Vader is infamous in what he's done and achieved. Beat Sting for the world title in '92 Great American Bash. That was an epic matchup. Every time they locked up, there was a great match to be had with Sting and Vader. He just, as far as big men, versatile, flexible, moonsault off the top, the Vader bomb. He just his intensity, having that background in football, coming up in Compton, California, having a lot of hard times in his earlier years, and yeah, it all shows in the ring. Vader's the man.
All right.
Yeah, I got no beef with that.
Yeah. All right. So my number 8 is Barry Windham.
Oh yeah, that's legendary.
That's a good solid pick for like a top 50, but man, top 10, you got to tell me why.
Well, you got to understand, I'm talking about Barry Windham during the AWA and NWA era. I'm not talking about the WCW. You might be thinking about the WWF era. I'm talking about
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about Horseman Barry Windham. That's what that.
No, I'm talking about.
He was one of my favorites.
I'm talking about before Horseman, before the Horseman. I'm talking about like Mid-South Wrestling. I'm talking about like I said, right before they split up and did the what region was that in Texas? When they had the I'm talking about before that period.
Texas was WCCW.
I thought it was US. Okay.
Yeah, so, Texas was world.
They had quite a few Texas promotions. You had USWA, you had GWF, Global Wrestling Federation. There was a lot of.
World Class was the main one, though, right?
Yeah, but World Class was the main one. That was the Von Erichs. That was.
But all of those leagues I mentioned were on ESPN at one point or another. So they all had their moments to shine.
Okay.
I mean,
Barry Windham is great.
Yeah. And that's another thing.
Started at USWA.
Yeah, that's another thing we got to consider, right? We got to consider like what we came up with and like the errors that we came up with. Because I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but probably none of us got a list with Dory Funk Jr. on it.
Vancat does.
Oh, you got Dory Funk Jr. so if you got Dory Funk Jr., then you got to have Harley Race in there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, don't worry. I can't put them old geezers.
Yeah, I can't put them on my list because I don't, I was like crawling at that point. You know what I mean?
Trevor talking mad trash, man.
Even though they had big contributions, you know what I mean? Like I can't like relate to it. You know what I mean?
And that's the same thing I said.
Well, I consider myself a student of the game, so I gotta acknowledge certain people. I'm not saying who. I mean, I'm not saying who I put in there yet, but
Okay.
We'll see.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's on MD.
Okay. All right. 8. I got Heartbreak Kid at 8.
Shawn Michaels.
Good pick.
So I had to put him in front of Brett, and it was like I've been thinking about it was tough. Like, and we talked about this too, Trevor. I was like, you got to put Shawn in front of Brett just because, like it's Brett, Shawn. Shawn was the worker. Brett was the guy that goes over. Like that's just what it was. You know what I mean? In terms of charisma, you got to put him over Brett. Work rate,
yeah, absolutely.
Like work rate. In actuality, even though myself, just personally as a fan, I would put Brett over Shawn. In actuality, they probably like equal each other in terms of work rate.
Yeah, it's a tie. It's definitely a tie. They were mirror images of one another.
Yeah. Now my bias would put Brett over Shawn in that category, but in reality, it's pretty much a tie because again, Shawn did everything Vince wanted him to do. Like he was a quintessential worker from his rocker days up to him starting singles, up to his Intercontinental reign. All like he worked. That's what he did, and he did it like well. In terms of what, and I keep comparing Brett and Shawn because I'm looking at them from the same angle in terms of like the stuff that they were doing. Like I said, like they were put in the ring to work. They were put in the ring to work the crowd, get the crowd going. Like they wouldn't put stuff beyond their control made them what they were in terms of being world champions. Again, Brett was essentially a bridge champion. That's all he was ever meant to be.
Right.
But he created something out of it. But because Shawn was so over, he worked it and created a champion out of Shawn. I don't think that was meant to be. You know what I mean? But Brett and Shawn were so good together, it was something that had to happen. You know what I mean? And it got Shawn over, and because of that, he was able to build his charisma into like what he is now, the legend. So that's my number 8, Shawn.
I got a love-hate relationship with Shawn Michaels. I love the 2002.
I do too.
Of course
I hate that 90s. I hate that 90s. I really think that a lot of the overreactions on his side. You know, he was supposed to carry that championship and essentially the company. And those were some really hard years for them. And I just think he got way too much credit way too soon. He later on, I think he got he got in the right place, but I don't know. Look at his first championship reign after he beat Brett. Like he was over in the moment, but as time went on, like you saw where it went. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I knew what was up when Sid beat him. I said, okay, yes, that experiment's over with. You know what I mean? Until we saw him evolve. Until we saw him evolve to what he became. But at the time, like the steam had done, pretty much fizzled out. Yeah.
Number 8,
Solar.
Number 8 is Sid Justice. Sid Vicious.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I don't have a problem with that. One of my
favorites. I ain't got no problem with that. Man, if that guy if injuries and bad attitude didn't derail him, he would have been like another. Because when you look at Sid Vicious, because I rather his Sid Vicious run. When you look at Sid Vicious, that's what a professional wrestler is supposed to look like.
Yep.
Like when you say wrestler, that's who you're talking about.
Yep.
All right. So number 7, and by this pick, you guys will finally realize that I'm a troll. So my number 7 pick is because when Vince needed it, he was able to put the belt on this person, and like MD said, bridge the gap, and MD basically echoed all my sentiments about this person. So I won't belabor it any longer. My number 7 pick is a tie. It's Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. They're identical.
Come on now. You're in this tie crowd.
No,
it's killing me right now.
Listen. You cannot have one without the other. One wouldn't have been good without the other.
Together with the
Yeah.
They're tied at the hip. You can't say one without the other. You can't.
Yeah.
I could easily
that's why I said 9 and 8. That's why I said 9 and 8.
Yeah, because you could say that because you don't like Shawn Michaels.
No, I can say that because I'm not afraid to put up people I need to be put up. Your list is now a top 12. Let's be real. You have a top 12 going on right now.
Hey, there's 7A and 7B.
Oh Lord, this friggin' guy, man.
All right, let me get your number 7.
All right, so my number 7, a year ago at this time, he would be much higher. Lately, not so much. We're gonna go with Nature Boy Ric Flair.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't. Hey, I'm not staying on the stream with this guy. Absolutely not. What?
He got friends.
The human trash
you
bag.
got number you.
The
You got
human
Ric
trash
Flair at
bag, Ric
7?
Flair. Yes, number 7. And there's obvious reasons. I've said it before. Ric Flair is on repeat set motions and moves we all know what's going to happen in the duration of a Ric Flair match. And I've even heard him himself say how he doesn't want to disappoint his fans because they came to see him do certain things. But at a certain point, you got to do something different. You can't be on automatic repeat like you're a video game. And it just looks bad. Where he does the same patterns of movement, the begging off, and the chopping of the chest, the running to the turnbuckle, running over, running to the other side, getting hit. It was a running joke. Like every time he comes off the turnbuckle, the guy always hits him. Probably like 4 times in my life I've seen Ric Flair actually hit that move, and it's so odd when he does hit it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you talking about me with the entertainment aspect. That's all. That's all.
That's all you wanted to see.
Oh, you
no.
Don't be a hypocrite. I would rather hear Ric Flair talking shit.
Van Cat, no, man.
No. His wrestling was lackluster, bro.
There's a
we all know that. But Flair could wrestle though. Like he could wrestle.
There's another
Ric Flair where he ain't have to.
Right. There's another Ric Flair that is much stronger. I would say the Ric Flair of 88, 89.
Right.
And you watch what he does in that time period. He's a lot more
doing the
confident.
same thing.
No, it's not the same. And those are the times when he was hitting the move off the top, but he was doing other things, and it was very smart. He had a match, just a regular match against Brad Armstrong, Bullet Bob Armstrong, legendary promoter and wrestler, son. Brad Armstrong, just a regular match on TV. I bought a tape from Johnny, and I was watching that match. I never seen that match, and it was a great little back and forth match. But with Ric Flair, when you have a back and forth, it's usually an insulting thing, like these silly, like coward moves, and I don't like that. It's not
because he's a heel, right? Because he's a chicken shit heel. You realize that, right?
Okay, that can work for certain moments in time, but when it's a constant, it's like, oh my God! Like Ric Flair, like during the end of his career, he had a match in ECW against the Giant, Big Show. It was a brutal street fight against Big Show. I thought the match was going to be a squash, and it was not. He fought back. He was determined. He was living up to the name of dirtiest player of the game. I like that stuff. That's when he's at his best. He's not on his best when he's acting like a freaking little kid crying about everything and just acting erratic. I don't like that Ric Flair. I like the Ric Flair that's focused, driven, and is wanting to be the best. And that's when you find him at his best. You can mainly find that in 88, 89. But that other Ric Flair, like that mid-90s, 95, 96, oh my Lord Jesus. He just has a lot of baggage on him that really brings him down. And I think that hurts him. He has a great run. He has a great run.
So that means you can't have Rock on your list. You can't have Austin on your list.
I'm so disappointed right now.
but those guys bring it though, you know, and they have moments where they're actually not doing the same thing. The Rock
Bret Hart does the same thing.
What does Bret Hart do?
If you've seen one Bret Hart match, you've seen them all.
Oh,
you know he's going to take that. You know he's going to take that bump. You know he's going to take that bump into the corner, sternum first.
Right.
You know he's going to throw. He throws a tremendous working punch. I give him that.
No,
hey, so
elbow off the second rope.
No, it's not the
elbow
same.
off the second rope.
Ric Flair stuff is a lot more.
That backdrop. Yeah.
Side Russian leg sweep.
But Bret was
side Russian leg sweep.
He was smooth with it.
Venkat, so my favorite Ric Flair match is him against Vader at Starrcade. What's yours?
My favorite Flair match. There's a lot that are really good. Maybe I love the Starrcade '88 match with him and Luger. I love the way he worked on that leg and he tried to put Flair in a torture rack and then he buckled and Flair went on top of him. 1, 2, 3. That was great.
You mean Flair, the same Flair that took the backdrop in the corner, the same Flair that did 100 chops and woo, the same Flair that did the elevated leg drop, the same Flair that does the exact same thing. You love Ric Flair when Ric Flair's been having the same match since the 70s.
No, but
that's
there's a difference, right?
Him.
No, there's a difference in seeing that Ric Flair in '88 versus seeing that Ric Flair in 2005. it's a different thing. At a certain point, it really runs its course. So in '88, it's not as deliberate and it's not as blatant. But once you get to a decade and a half, it's kind of blatant.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the greatest Flair match, like from a wrestling standpoint, that I ever saw. Flair versus Dean Malenko on Nitro.
Oh yeah,
I ain't never seen Flair wrestle like that ever.
Right.
Dean was working his ass. He I don't know what it was.
It's because he's in there with Dean Malenko. That's why Dean Malenko is forcing that out of him. Because Dean Malenko is the man of 1,000 holes, and he's straight about wrestling. So Ric Flair probably felt he had to match him up. So that brought out the best in Ric Flair. Certain competition probably would do that with wrestlers. But
Black Sun, what's your pick? Because I'm getting ready to get off of this because this man just ruined the whole vibe of the show for me. Like, I can't believe this, man.
Man, you're lucky he's on the list. I really contemplated. I'm dead serious. I contemplated.
Man, you crazy.
All right, so
What?
I'm gonna have to go with Kane.
All right, you got to explain that one.
Just powerhouse, man. I like just raw power.
Okay, so I'm starting to see a trend with you the power guys. Okay, ain't no problem with that.
Yeah. Oh, wait till you see my tag teams.
All right, MD.
All right, number seven. I got Kurt at number 7.
Kurt Angle.
I got Kurt Angle at number 7. Again, and maybe a trend with me again. When he came in, like damn near, you might as well say green, like a machine. You know what I mean? Work rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like off the chart. You know what I mean? And he was naturally gifted in terms of working the mic too. That's something that was surprising to me. You know what I mean? He just came in gifted. You know what I mean? He already had the wrestling down. To add the gimmick in with it, you couldn't beat it. Like he was an instant star. You know what I mean? I don't think if it wasn't for him having the charisma that he did, he would have flourished the way he did in the beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the blue chip, oh golly gosh type gimmick. It worked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just worked. And with him having, 5-star matches, hey man, he has
a lot of great matches. He has a lot of great matches.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, he was instantly put in, within 6 months working top rate guys. You know what I mean? You can't beat that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got Kurt at 7.
All right, Solar is on you.
I'm gonna go with Davey Boy.
Oh, nice.
Solid pick.
Bulldog.
Solid
Bulldog.
He has the body.
Another one, man. Another one though. The drugs and man, what he could have been. Damn. All right, so my number 6 is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Oh,
I think you straight hate.
I think Dusty Rhodes. Dusty. I had Dusty Rhodes as high as number 3 up until this morning. But when I start thinking about it, to me, Dusty Rhodes is one of those guys. He just personified what an entertainer is, what a professional wrestler is. His matches with Ric Flair, legendary. His matches with Barry Windham, legendary. His 6-man tag title matches, legendary.
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes, again, Vince never put that title on him when he should have.
Exactly.
He saddled him with the polka dot gimmick, which, whatever you say was a rib. Dusty Rhodes says that's the most money he's ever made. So who am I to say anything about his bank account? But Dusty Rhodes is my number 6.
That's a good one though, because he was always in the mix, and he made he was like the good adversary. You know what I'm saying? He never got it, but it was always a good matchup when he would face somebody, you know.
And let's not forget about his wrestling mind. He's the one who brought us War Games. So I mean, come on, how could you not have him in the top 10?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so my number 6 is going to be Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, probably the most gifted in-ring performer ever. He is the most legitimate wrestler, being an actual amateur wrestler going into professional, one of the few that ever made that transition. And then he won a gold medal in real life. He won world titles in professional wrestling. He's an undeniable legend, and he's a legit one. So he's number 6.
All
right. I'm gonna go way back old school. Wrestling superstar, who's also known as Axe from Demolition. What?
I thought he was gonna say superstar Billy Graham, man.
No, hell no. No, wrestling superstar. You see, I keep forgetting you don't come from the old school.
So you are you talking about his Machine run? Well, the Machines was a one-off thing, but yeah, you're talking about his Japan run then. His run in Japan when he.
No, he talking about Georgia Championship Wrestling mass wrestling. That's what we talking about.
Yeah. He was ultimate.
I didn't see much of that, so I can't comment on that.
Hey, yeah, you got to go back, and if you get some archives, go back. You talk about goddamn interviews, goddamn just the villain. Yeah, I mean he was. Oh man, and you talk about skits and shit before even WWE was doing all that. Before any wrestling organization, goddamn Axe was doing that shit way before and shit, man. I mean they had doing shit in parking lots and shit, doing just. I mean, yeah, the dude. Yeah, he brought it. He really revolutionized that. Nobody gives him credit. Wouldn't you agree with that, MD?
Yeah. Like I said, I from the stuff I seen from Georgia Championship Wrestling, he was a top dude.
Yeah.
So like he was there. Remember him and you know, like when Bullet Bob got older.
Yeah.
They was feuding when Bullet Bob was doing what was Bullet Bob when he was under the mask?
He was wrestler number 1 or something. Wrestler number 2.
He wasn't one of those. He had a gimmick where he wrestled under the mask, and he was wrestling mask superstar for a while. I can't remember his name. What he went under.
It is funny, like how all these wrestlers. Like they'll put on a mask, but it's like they're not doing a good job of hiding who they are. Like Hulk Hogan did it when he was banned. He was calling himself Mr. USA, and you can see it's clearly Hulk Hogan. It's just a bad mask. And
Bullet Bob was doing it. He was wrestling both gimmicks. He was wrestling Bullet Bob and the mask guy. like he had a secret persona or something. But he would come out and wrestle as Bullet Bob too.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes.
The Midnight Rider.
Yeah,
the Midnight Rider, Dusty Rhodes.
Yep, and Flying Blind did it with the yellow dog.
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
when they would get eliminated and they would have to leave for a while, they just put the mask on. It was just such a funny thing.
Yeah, but
go
ahead. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was saying who it was on. Yeah, all right. You still got it.
Yeah, I think it's me. You done, Black Sun?
Oh yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, I got to make another correlation. So Kurt was my number 7. And we on 6 now.
Yeah.
So 6 with the correlation with Kurt. With me saying I'm thinking wrestling wise, and again, you know, work rate may be better with Kurt, but in terms of just pure athleticism and the things they could do wrestling, I got to put him in front of Kurt, and that's Brock. I got to do it.
Oh man!
Wow, that's good.
I got to do it.
That's good right there.
You talking about naturally gifted?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's Brock, man. It's Brock.
Another legitimate wrestler.
Yep.
Like he's gonna go down as the greatest pure athlete in wrestling probably ever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. And most people will probably say Kurt. I can't do it. Brock just from his power alone and the stuff that he can do. And I'm talking
Those two
about
had
back
some
then.
hell
He
of a
can't do that
matches.
stuff now. Yeah, he can't probably do it now. But back in 2002 on up, before he left for UFC, man, couldn't nobody do nothing Brock was doing. Not his size. Nothing.
You remember that shooting star? That shooting star press that almost broke his neck.
Yeah. But hey, man, but still, that a man that size that can do that, man, you can't.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. Yeah, he shouldn't have been doing that. But yeah, Brock. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So Brock, like back then, Brock was the truth, man. He when I saw Brock, I said, "Oh yeah, he the Goldberg killer." But Goldberg beat him at WrestleMania 20, but that's beside the point. You know what I mean? Like Brock, the most talented natural athlete ever in wrestling. Period.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's unbelievable.
And like I said, I'm talking about Trunks wearing Brock. Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We know he. You talking about that ruthless aggression era, Brock?
Yeah. I'm talking about that Brock.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my number 6.
My number 6 would be my number 6 would be Sting.
Oh shit!
I was wondering when he was gonna make an appearance.
I'm just waiting to hear what Trevor's gonna say. Whatever nonsense is gonna come out of that trap.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh Lord.
Some of you guys like Sting the way I like Ultimate Warrior. I think Ultimate Warrior was better than Sting.
Oh my God!
I mean,
Ultimate Warrior's on my list. Don't get it twisted.
Oh my God! Ultimate Warrior is Ultimate Warrior. Oh my God!
Oh my God! He had his little run though. He had his little run.
He had one more move than Hulk Hogan. He had one more move than Hulk Hogan. Come on.
So at number 5, I had Brock Lesnar, but the person that I actually gave 5 to, it was like that thing where if I couldn't put Brock at 5, then he couldn't be in the top 10. He's that great, and I got that much respect for him. But my number 5, man, is Mr. PG era himself, John Cena, Mr. Make-A-Wish. John Cena is say what you want to say, but 20 years, John Cena has carried that company, and he has been. I mean, even now, when John Cena will be back this Friday, and you better believe that I'm gonna be watching. So. John Cena is my number 5.
John Cena is what Roman Reigns was getting. A push champion that the fans saw coming. Now, I'll give him credit. I mean, he just like The Rock, he had a bad deal. But The Rock was hated for other reasons, just looking goofy and silly and smiling all the damn time. But John Cena was the crowd felt him being pushed as the guy, and I don't think the fans like that. That's kind of like what happened to Roman Reigns in the beginning of his thing, where they just started revolting because they just didn't like to be told who's going to be it just didn't feel organic, is what it is. So, but John Cena, for everything, because he has some annoying attributes, but you have to give him credit because he's had some wars in the ring and battles. And he's risen to the occasion. I can remember a match with him and Brock Lesnar. They've wrestled many times, but there's a specific match where Brock Lesnar was just bullying him and just making him look like trash. And and I mean, me and my wife was watching the match. I didn't know the match was going to be that physical. I thought it was just going to be one of those regular old matches, but it got really physical. Brock Lesnar was just really dominating, and he just kept fighting back. And it was just the story was well told. John Cena went through hell with Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar doesn't look like he gives anybody any breaks.
Oh shit! What happened?
Oh shit! It's connection.
Ah, shit. Damn, we need his number 5. Unless one of you guys want to go and he jumps back in.
Okay. My number 5 is Kurt Angle. Another powerhouse.
I mean, Kurt Angle is. I mean, he is a personification of wrestling. So
yeah.
I ain't got no issues with that.
Yeah, I like to, for his size and technical skills, I definitely, he's definitely in my top 5, and especially that, Oh, yeah, we got Ben Cat back. Okay, Ben Cat.
Yeah, got knocked out. My number 5 is gonna be one of the guys, one of those legends that if you were gonna make a list like this and not put him on it, not only would you be looked at as lacking in history of the sport, but you would also be looked at as a hypocrite, because if a guy today did what he did, we would be saying, oh my God, nobody is going to ever be better than this guy. So my pick for number 5, which I could not ignore, was Bruno Sammartino. This guy won the world title in 40 seconds and didn't lose it for 10 years. And didn't lose it for 10 years. You can drink that haterade all you want to. But
He guzzling that shit, man. He guzzling that
shit. That's the match. You win your title in 40 seconds, and then you held it for 10 plus years. There's nothing. You can't. That's like ignoring Bill Russell's 11 championships. It's just, you can't do nothing with that. So I might as well recognize it. So I can't do nothing else but recognize the greatness. Get the hate off your chest. Get the hate off your chest. Get the hate off. But all the more reason why I'm solidified in my decision, because people need to give these kind of guys the respect they do,
man.
All right, my turn.
All right.
MD.
Okay, all right. Number 5. And again, like I think I got a trend, but just from my experience on the stuff that I was watching, I put this person at number 5. That's Keiji Muto.
Keiji Muto.
Oh, the great Muta?
Muta himself.
Muta, yeah.
Oh, Muta is awesome.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's an awesome pick.
Yeah.
That's my number 5. Not just for the stuff that he did in WCW, but the stuff that I was like tape swapping with the stuff he was doing like in the late 90s, early 2000s in New Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The stuff that he was doing in All Japan. Like I was able to watch that stuff, so I saw the greatness. You know what I'm saying? So Muto, like he was like his persona, man, his aura was next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to mention his wrestling ability and the stuff that he would do. Like what put me on to pretty much like modern style wrestling, like in the States, was him and Sting. Like that was it. And you'll see another correlation. Yeah, you'll see another correlation with my next pick saying that. But like that's what like put me on to wrestling. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I tried my best, you know what I mean, with the ability that I had to follow his career. And I followed his career from New Japan, All Japan, and all that stuff. And he's gonna go down as probably, well, to me, the greatest Japanese wrestler of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
And unlike Ric Flair, he has a set of moves, as all wrestlers should, but he knows how to switch them up and he knows how to make a match exciting.
Exactly.
So
you know what I mean? Like his switch kick was next level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next level to the back of the neck.
And then he had the different color mist.
Yeah.
Just awesome face paint, awesome in-ring presentation coming into the ring, the clothing he's wearing, like everything was thought out with Great Muta.
Yeah,
he needs more respect.
like I said, it was his aura, man, that just like it captivated you. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he's having his last match coming
against
up.
Nakamura.
Yeah, at Wrestle Kingdom,
Nakamura.
Right?
No, it's not going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. No, yeah, it is at Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah, so I may try to watch that. Just because of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my number 5.
And he kept getting better as he was going on. I mean,
he
got bulkier and bigger.
Yeah, he aged well.
Yeah.
He aged well. Like when he went into a lot of the times, like so when he was in New Japan, you know, when he was champion, he was wrestling under the Muto. You know what I mean? So like he made it to the point where like the Great Muta gimmick was like special because it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 5. The Great Muta, Kaiji Muto.
You know what's a good pay-per-view to watch since Buddha's your favorite? Venkat, yeah, I know you remember this. Starrcade, what was it, 1989? The tournament? You remember that? What was that? Future Shock?
Yeah, Future Shock. Yeah.
That was awesome. That was one of WCW's best pay-per-views. That was like a one-night tournament. Yeah, Muta kicked ass in that one. He didn't win, but obviously that shit was good.
Yeah.
All right, it's on you, Solar.
My number 5 would be The Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. The Rock is the biggest superstar to ever come out of wrestling. He transcended wrestling, and to prove that they're trying to get him for WrestleMania to go against Roman Reigns. Like, I mean, that's all you need to know right there.
Yep.
All right, number 4. We're down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, man.
Number 4 to me is, for the longest, was my favorite wrestler of all time. I mean, you know, next to Randy Orton, but he is Vince McMahon's greatest creation, and number 4 goes to The Undertaker.
What?
Now, why is he sliding down your list?
Sliding down he's number 4.
Yeah, he was your favorite. Favorite would be number 1. So if he's at number 4, why is he sliding down your list?
Because wait a minute, you shucklebugging me? Because I took the emotion out of this. I could have put it at number 1.
Oh my God!
No, listen. He could have been number 1, and that would have been, nobody would have had an issue with that. But the guys that I got ahead of him, you'll see why they are ahead of him, because
Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior.
No, Undertaker was never a big draw business wise.
You got Ultimate Warrior ahead of Undertaker, bro.
Nah, Ultimate Warrior not on my list, man.
Oh, he ain't on your list. All right.
But listen, Undertaker was never a big draw. He's a fantastic character, and his longevity at that size is to be marveled at. And
wait, hold on.
Like 2 different Undertakers.
Wait a minute. You said that he was never a big draw, but like when he had that streak going, he was like the reason a lot of people were going to WrestleMania to see the Undertaker.
Yeah, American Badass.
That didn't translate throughout the year, and his American Badass run was a flop. That did $0 in the box office.
It wasn't a flop, but it wasn't.
When
better than that ministry crap.
Remember, when I'm talking about, all I'm talking about is dollars and cents here. It was a flop when it comes to that.
Right.
But I think, as far as character, he's the greatest character ever. He's Vince McMahon's greatest character next, and then it's Goldust. But he is Vince McMahon's greatest character ever.
Hey, let me ask you a question. That whole American Badass, that gimmick was a marketing gimmick. Because at the time they were pushing that Ruthless Aggression out.
Right.
And it seemed like as soon as that album was finna get ready to drop, that's when he switched over.
And it was because
am
they
I
were
right or am
doing
I wrong?
No, you're right, because they were doing the collaboration with Kid Rock too. Because remember when he came back, Kid Rock was using American Badass.
Right.
So they were in partnership with that. But as far as like dollars and cents, the fans hated that because the fans wanted to see dark, roll your eyes in the back of the head, dead man Undertaker. I love the American Badass. I think the American Badass would have put more years on his career if he would have wrestled that style.
The only reason
I love the American Badass.
The only reason I liked the American Badass was the Last Ride. That was it. When he started doing that, I said, "Oh shit, Last Ride!" Fuck. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "They gonna kill some goddamn body."
Yeah, because he would get you up there too, especially if you was a little guy.
Yep.
But his matches as the American Badass with Kurt Angle were legendary, legendary. Like Kurt Angle and Undertaker had some of the best title matches. So yeah, Undertaker's number 4 for me.
Okay.
Oh, is it me?
Okay, yep.
Yeah. Like what other old guy you bringing up?
Okay, so it's number 4, right?
4, yeah.
Okay, so my number 4 is going to be the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. For obvious reasons, a major individual star in wrestling from the early 70s. A major tag team wrestler with Dirty Dick Slater.
Yeah.
He was a major booker.
Dick Murdoch. Dick Murdoch.
Who did I say? Dick Slater?
Yeah, Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch. Yeah, Dick Murdoch. I'm sorry. Yeah, and he was a booker. He was the guy that created events from match types to actual events like the Great American Bash and so on and so forth. So he was a great mind in wrestling overall. American Dream Dusty Rhodes was the one that took some style from Muhammad Ali and made it his own. And then Ric Flair idolized Dusty Rhodes and took a little bit of Dusty Rhodes, but he helped motivate other wrestlers and he made careers. He was the driving force behind Ron Simmons becoming the first black world heavyweight champion. And that was the first real black. There were black champions in other little small minority markets, but to make it in a big market like WCW or WWF, even ECW to a lesser degree, we never had a black champion till Ron Simmons, and he was a driving force to that. So he was forward thinking way before a lot of these old broken down bookers were, and he always got the job done. So he was a great mind, and he went on with NXT. He helped to pave the way for a lot of people in NXT, including Seth Rollins and others. So yeah, his impact in wrestling has been felt throughout the decade. So yeah, he's my number 4, Dusty Rhodes.
No complaint there.
Yeah, my number 4 is Macho Man.
Fantastic choice. I had him up there and I had to take him out. Like he is, because I wanted him to be so high, but he could. Like I had somebody else ahead of him.
Yeah, I liked his run, in WCW. I mean, let me see the WWF. Yeah. I mean, WCW, he kind of just fizzled out, but I think.
Oh man, you ain't like the Madness?
No, I like the Madness, but he had a better run in WWF. I thought WWE.
His WWF run was so much better.
Yeah. Well, hold on now. In WCW, I think Macho Man won the title like 4 times.
Yeah, but that David Arquette won that belt too. Remember that.
That don't mean that. That's the world title from 1905. Lou Sands, Dory Funk, Terry Funk, all those people that have won that title. A little mishap like that doesn't take away from the value of that belt. That's the most prized possession in all of sports. You got basketball players and football players wearing that title when they win a championship. So, nah, man, he's good. He's good.
I got no problem with Macho Man. No problem.
Okay, all right. Number 4 we on, correct? So number 4, again, the correlation. I cannot put this person above I can't put Muta above this person, even though they got the core. It's Sting.
It's Sting. I knew it was Sting.
Sting is my number 4.
Yep.
He's the workhorse of WCW.
The franchise.
The icon himself.
Yep.
The man they call Sting.
Still flying high, unlike what Trevor's saying. That's 60 plus years.
Sting, like you go back at when he started, like he was one of the muscle bound dudes, getting in it, had a gimmick, but he was able to transform it into like so much more. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? He didn't go that, and to a certain extent, when you look on the opposite side of the spectrum, you could say the same thing about Ultimate Warrior, but Ultimate Warrior was just bad. You know what I mean? Whereas Sting was able to make something out of it and actually like know how to work in the ring.
Yes, Sting had tremendous matches.
Yeah,
that's the key difference between the two. Warrior, his matches, he had like maybe a couple, like mainly with Macho Man and maybe someone else. But Sting has like so many matches that were great overall with different opponents, and that's the difference. The attitude. Warrior, give me my money. Give me my money now. Yep. Sting, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do to get better and help the company along. So there was two different mindsets at play. They both had on paint. They both were the world champions in 1990. One beating Hogan that represented WWF, one beating Flair that represented WCW, NWA. But they were two different mentalities. And Sting overall, WCW got the better end of it because they were a tag team, the Blade Runners, and they split.
Yeah. Sting
and I think WCW won that.
Right. Sting put the weight of the company on their shoulders, and he was able to bear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said,
as did Undertaker. Undertaker was a loyal soldier. And that's why Undertaker gets a lot of respect. His tenure. That's like Kobe Bryant. Staying with one team, doing the things to make the franchise better. That's why Sting, Undertaker, highly respected.
Right. And Sting was able to see the bigger picture. The most thing that I respect the most about Sting is he saw the bigger picture when Hogan came in. You know what I mean? He ain't bitch to complain about it. He didn't go with old 94, 95 Sting. He saw the bigger picture. He saw where the Booker was going, and he took it. You know what I mean? Now the culmination was I can admit it was pretty bad with Starrcade 97. I can admit that.
Terrible.
But he saw the vision, and he created one of the, as me looking 15-year-old kid, like one of the best gimmicks all time with Crow Sting.
Yeah, Crow Sting was awesome.
You know what I mean? So
Scott Hall's creation. Scott Hall.
Yeah. I think Scott Hall said they was watching the Crow and he was like, But so that's my number 4. The man they call Sting.
All right.
Steve Austin.
Studding Steve Austin?
No, Stone Cold.
Nah, hell no.
Come on, man. Stop it.
Come on, man. Stop playing.
Wait a minute. Studding Steve Austin is no slouch either. Multi-time champion?
Yeah, but he ain't on nobody's top 10, I'll tell you that.
Oh, Lord.
So my number 3, I was gonna pull another one of those duels because these guys are linked at the hips, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna make a stand.
Lord.
So Rock gets bumped out of my top 10 because he was tied at number 3 with the biggest draw in wrestling and the man that basically single-handedly saved Vince McMahon's company in 1998, Stone Cold Steve Austin is my number 3.
Legendary. Awesome. He can bring the heat. You can't say that bad about Stone Cold.
The man that WCW didn't know what to do with.
He damn entertaining motherfucker
WCW gave away 2 of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Undertaker. And so you couldn't accidentally do worse.
Well, three. I know you won't give him credit, but three. Triple H.
Well, yeah, you could say that too. Okay, so that's three of the biggest stars in the history of the damn game. And they gave those three guys away, and that's really what did them in. Oh, Lord. All right, so my number 3 is going to be The Undertaker. 30 plus years, 30 years in the WWF. Again, like we said before, loyal to the soil. And I just think that he was very instrumental in, even if he wasn't the main draw, he was still big enough. Even without the title, he was still big enough to command the respect of the audience and other wrestlers to watch and tune in to see what was going on. So even though he may not have been the biggest draw a particular year, he was still a top attraction always. And to do it for that long a period of time, to stay relevant for that period of time, you got to give it to The Undertaker. Number 3.
My number 3, I'm gonna go with Dusty Rhodes, just because of
Big Dust.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I'm talking about old school Dusty, before NWA. Man.
NWA Dusty.
Yeah. See, Trevor, man, this thing goes way back, man. I'm trying to tell you.
No, but I'm a Dusty Rhodes fan. Like, you gotta understand.
Right. No, I understand, but I'm trying to understand what period, what era did you start at watch wrestling? Because I'm
the golden era. I started in 1985.
85. Okay, 85. Okay, fair enough. All right.
But then I would always go back and look at older stuff. Obviously, I wasn't going into the Luthez's and all that stuff, but I would Frank Gotch and all that type of wrestling. But I would look at like 80s, like early 80s.
Okay, fair enough. So that's what I'm saying. You need to go back and look at Bill Barr, as the wrestling superstar, man. His old school shit is classics, man. But yeah,
I don't even know who that is.
Axe from Axe and Smash or Demolition.
Oh no, that was Edie. His name is Edie.
Edie.
Oh yeah, so you said his real name? Yeah, his real name is probably Bill Barr, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy right there. Yeah, if you look at his old matches, man, and even his promos, his skits, man, that shit was classic, man. It was like watching.
He was called the Masked Superstar.
Yeah, Masked Superstar. Yep. And watch all its promos and everything. It's like watching an old goddamn gangster flick, man. I love that shit.
Yeah. That's old GCW stuff right there, man.
Yeah.
Old school Georgia Championship wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking them up on Google right now, so I saved some of his stuff.
Yeah, y'all gotta watch that, man. Watch that. That's some classic stuff right there. But yeah, Dusty Rhodes, my number 3.
And Dusty also had sellout matches against superstar Billy Graham in Madison Square Garden as well.
Yeah,
classic stuff there. Dusty been bringing it for a long time, so he's at a high level.
And the fact that he had that body type to be able to work the way he did.
Right, because he would do 1-hour matches with Flair on a nightly basis. So that said a lot right there.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. Number 3.
Yep.
Number 3, man. You talk about your Psalms, you talk about your John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 said, "I just whipped your ass." That's my number 3. He the truth, man. Like and it's crazy because I saw the transformation happen. You know what I mean? From his stunning stuff up to that. Like I was like, man, like, and I always knew Steve Austin had it. I always knew it. You know what I mean? I think for the most part, like WCW people knew, like Steve Austin was like he was special.
Yep.
But I for whatever reason, like he was the mid card guy. You know what I mean? And then it got to a point where they just, You know what I mean? Like phenomenal TV championship run. In WCW.
They should
You know
have.
what I mean?
They should have never broke up the Hollywood Blondes either.
Yeah, the Hollywood Blondes. You know what I mean? It even got to a point. If you remember, on WCW on TV, they had the little promo where Flair was getting the Hollywood Blondes over. They were trying everything.
Yeah.
To try to get Hollywood, and for the most part, they kind of were.
There go that
You know
name
what I mean?
again, Ric Flair.
Yeah. So Austin, I always knew Austin was good. You know what I mean? On top of being like a good wrestler, like he wasn't no like slouch in the ring. You know what I mean? Like he was good, real good. You know what I mean? Like stun gun, spine, all that stuff. You know, he was good. Yeah, but and King of the Ring changed everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I give credit to the Ultimate Man. He saw the vision. And he started an era that changed wrestling forever.
Well, I give credit to Austin's wife, who said, "Eat your dinner before you get
coming up with
stone cold."
that name. Yeah, for giving them that name.
Yeah.
Because they were going to call him Chili. They were going to call him Chili McFreeze.
That's WWF. That is what WWF does right there.
That sounds like something Vince will go with.
Yeah, cornball stuff.
That sounds like something Vince will go with. But yeah, Austin, man, Austin changed the game with ushering in the Attitude Era. He changed. So I'm going 3. Steve Austin.
So you got to give some of that credit to ECW, because ECW is what's really motivating a lot of that attitude stuff. That attitude doesn't come into play without ECW.
Yeah, I never forget the promo he cut on Sandman and Mikey Ripwreck.
Yeah.
He said, "You smoking cigarettes?" He said, "I'll run circles around your ass." He was talking, "Hey, Man Superstar was good." And the way he put over Mikey Ripwreck, like that was classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was classic.
He used to murder woman on the mic too. Oh my God, in ECW. Yeah. Man, he used to he used to talk about her so bad.
Yeah, so yeah. Like I said, man, you saw like what Austin could be. You know what I mean? And to Vincent's credit, he made something out of it. So yeah, I'm giving 3 to Austin.
All right,
my number three is Macho Man.
Yeah, that's hard to deny. Like,
you gotta,
Macho Man is so good, man. It's like it's not even funny.
But Trevor, though, you keep talking about how WCW era Macho Man isn't that great, but I feel like if Macho Man career ended in '93 when he was on the microphone and he never wrestled again and he was not in WCW, I don't think Macho Man will be held in such high regards. He was a part of some great feuds in WCW, and he won the world title multiple times.
If Macho Man's career would have ended at WrestleMania 7, in that retirement match against Ultimate Warrior, which was Ultimate Warrior's greatest match ever, Macho Man would have still been a legend. Because I'm not even thinking about him as a champion. I'm talking about his IC run, his Intercontinental run. And remember, before he came to WWF, he had his own Renegade promotion. I forget the name of it, with his dad, where he used to have they weren't called the Bushwhackers, they were called the Sheep Herders over there. And they used to have these gruesome, bloody matches. So I know Macho Man from pre-WWF.
No, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been a legend or whatever, but he wouldn't have been held at such a high regard. A lot of that.
His WCW run was shit, man. It was shit.
How?
Because
he's wrestling Ric Flair, he's wrestling DDP. How's it crap? I don't even get that. Macho Man had like 5-6 years.
I'm just thinking of all the stuff he did. His matches against Avalanche, his matches against what's the guy that used to wear the roadblock thing around him. I'm like, come on, man. All the countless amount of times he had to job the Hulk Hogan. Come on, man.
Oh, get out of here. You're looking at specific. He was jobbing Hogan in WWF. He was jobbing over there. I don't see what is so great of what he did in WWF when I think he achieved a lot more.
Sherry.
Huh?
Yeah, all that stuff was fantastic, man.
The Jerry
Scary Sherry. Come on, man. Macho Man and Zeus. Macho Man and Zeus against Hogan.
Oh my God,
Beefcake.
come on.
That was tremendous, man.
That was tremendous. Really, dude? A cockeyed Zeus that had no wrestling holes. That was tremendous. Come on, man. Get out of here. Macho Man was a part of the NWO thing, that angle right there. That's like etched in history. He went on to do so much more. In the WWF, he got that one championship in a tournament, which is not
that he had for a year.
Huh?
He had for a year. He had it for
just
a year.
To lose to Hogan, and then he won again with Ric Flair, just to lose to Flair again. So I mean, that was the extent of it. But he had the epic match with Ultimate Warrior. Nobody wants to give Warrior credit. For some reason, I guess Macho Man was in the ring by himself, and then he had the epic match with Ricky Steamboat. But
Macho Man mapped that out, though. So you have to give that to Macho Man.
If Ultimate Warrior doesn't do what he needs to do, then the match ain't going nowhere. No matter how.
Yeah, I give him credit.
Macho Man mapped out a lot of matches, and we don't remember those fondly. I mean, I'm telling you,
you don't remember. One match you didn't talk about from Macho Man was Macho Man versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8, which was better than anything they had in WCW.
I wasn't a fan of that.
Man.
I wasn't
talking about, man.
I wasn't a fan.
Of course you weren't. Of course you weren't.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the way they handled Sid Justice showing up all goofy, and then he got
yeah, but that was in the main event though. You talking about the main event? I'm talking about Savage
and Flair. Those were the two.
All I remember from that WrestleMania is Savage, Flair, and Bret Hart and Rowdy Piper. Bret Hart and Rowdy Piper.
It was a double main event, and Flair.
Yeah, but that Hogan Justice sucked. I didn't.
Of course it sucked. But I'm just saying, Macho Man did great things in WCW. If you take away that part, I don't think Macho Man is as highly revered. He will always be revered for what he did, but without that other part of his career, it's like Kobe Bryant not having the 24 run. You only had Kobe Bryant 8. You have to have that other part to get him to that higher level. And I just think you're just short-sighting his body of work. I don't think you appreciate it. There we go.
My number 2. If you know me for more than 10 minutes, you know who this is gonna be. This is the guy that I saw that got me into wrestling.
Oh my God!
Yes, I am still a Hulkamaniac. Number 2 is Hulk Hogan.
Get out of here with that, man. You know what? You and your Hulkamaniacs could go in the back and take your steroids by yourself, brother.
What you gonna do, brother?
Hulk Hogan, man. Hulk Hogan, if it was just, he said it perfectly in that NWO turn. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, the wrestling industry would have never been where it was. Hulk Hogan single-handedly put Titan Sports on his back.
Vince McMahon had something to do with that.
He put Titan Sports on his back and ran them into the new generation. Hulk Hogan,
all he had to do was steal superstar Billy Graham's gimmick. That's all. No big deal. Literally look like superstar from head to toe. Come on, man. Hulk Hogan wasn't that significant.
Oh shit.
What?
He snatched an entire look. And matter of fact, he snatched Jesse Ventura snatched the look from Superstar.
Yep.
Hogan snatched the look from Jesse and Superstar. And he's running around like I mean, we just hide your kids, hide your wife. We stealing all personas around here. God.
Okay, let's look at this. Since you wanna talk about who did what in WCW, Hulk Hogan basically saved WCW with the NWO run.
Yeah,
now,
he was saving us from Hulk Hogan, which was bringing us down into the ground when people were booing him. Huh?
If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you guys wouldn't have had that 83-week victory streak. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. And you know why you're wrong? You know why you're wrong? Because for that 83-week streak, most of the time he wasn't even there. Hulk Hogan is like Roman Reigns today. Roman Reigns is actually doing more than Hogan. Hulk Hogan only makes those appearances and laughs on TV, but he doesn't get in the ring very much. And that's how his contract was always.
Look at the numbers when he's on TV. It's all about the eyeballs.
Yeah.
That's what you don't separate the emotion from this. We looking at the dollars that this guy brought. It's a reason why he could say that I want to be the highest paid wrestler.
Hogan was big. Hogan was big.
Yeah, Hogan. Yeah, Hogan. You cannot discredit Hulk Hogan. Like that's why I understand how the fact you could sit here and try to discredit Hulk Hogan. Like for real.
Because when he came to WCW, he wasn't doing that business. It took the mentality of Eric Bischoff stealing New Japan's idea to making the NWO, and it was Hall and Nash coming in that got that whole fire going. Hulk Hogan was just a little cherry on top.
Man, the third man. The third man was supposed to be Sting. The third man was supposed to be Sting. Sting would have never carried the NWO the way Hulk Hogan did. Never.
Because
Sting doesn't have that. Doesn't have that charisma like Hogan.
That's not true. That's not true because let's reverse it. Let's say WWF had the situation WCW had. So there was two guys that just popped up from WCW and they were saying they were doing an invasion. And then the third guy turned out to be Sting. That would be big ass numbers for WWF. It's the way that it's presented.
It would have been, something. It would have been something, but Hogan.
Not like Hogan. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hogan,
man, Solar, he knows that. He just don't like Hulk. I've known this guy since the 90s. He's never liked Hulk Hogan. Never.
Because that crusty racist, that crusty old racist that need to wash his boots because he's talking all mad trash. I can't give him full credit because I see the flaws in what he did. He made wrestling dull. He made wrestling repetitive. He did. He did. And then he rode a coattail of a hot idea and injected himself. And look how great I am. If Hall and Nash didn't come out there and was doing that, it wouldn't have been a big deal because Hulk Hogan was already being forgotten and booed out of the arena. In 94, 95, they were booing him out of the arena. So it's not a big deal to me. You know what I mean? Like Hulk Hogan, yeah, he made his mark, but I think he tries to go overboard with that. He goes over getting too much credit. And he acts like Vince McMahon didn't have anything to do with his WWF career. I mean, come on. It's crazy.
All right, give your counter, Van Cat. Give your counter.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. So number two, my number two is Sting, for obvious reasons. Multi-time champion. He's just hating. The hate is within him. Oh my God! It's like Anakin Skywalker turned into the dark side. He just can't get that hate out of him. Yeah, Sting for obvious reasons. His loyalty to WCW, running the flag of the company, represented it on a high level. He, unlike Undertaker, Sting was able to face off with a bigger, wider wrestlers from worldwide because WWF was just really just WWF and they just stayed in that box, whereas WCW could be in Japan, be in Mexico. So he was facing guys worldwide all over, plus the influx of talent that was coming in from WWF and other areas into WCW. He had great matchups. The Undertaker has some stale matchups over the years because, again, it's how many times you're going to face Triple H and Owen, Bret Hart and all those guys. But so Sting to me, he had all kinds of matches, power matches, intense matches, story-driven matches. He delivered on all cylinders. This wrestler, I forgot his name. I think it's Dutch Landell. He always has something negative to say about Sting, and he brings up always the beginning of his career when he was a part of the Blade. Yeah, yes, him. He would always bring up like his early years and talk about the greenness of Sting. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that was like back in the early 80s. Why are you bringing that up? Why don't we talk about his growth? So he was just hating. Sting grew, and he became a multi-world champion. He learned from Ric Flair. He learned from others in the organization, and he just got better over time. And he's always been known as a good guy as far as the way he treats others, unlike Ultimate Warrior and others. But so I go with Sting because I think he was not only in ring a really good person, but out of the ring. So I go with Sting for my number 2 all time.
All right, my number 2. I'm going to say because this guy has the best agility. He had a good run in WCW and WWE and in TNA, man. I got to hold it down for Booker T.
Yep.
Man, you got Book up there high.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at the agility, man. For a guy his size, man, he 6'2".
Yeah, Book is awesome. Book is awesome.
Man. Yeah, I think Book
and
is
he's still doing it.
Yeah, he's still doing
it.
He's in the independent circle. Yeah, man. And man, that dude got incredible moves. I think he's underrated, man. I think Booker T is definitely
that
underrated.
Harlem Hangover, the sidekick.
Yeah, Harlem Hangover was fire. Yeah.
In fact, one of the best matches Rock said he had was against Booker T.
The Harlem Hangover.
Yeah, the Harlem Hangover was awesome, man.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, my turn.
He got Book up there high though.
All right, so Trevor might like this one. My number 2, and my number 1 and number 2 correlate, and you'll see why. So this person, he got put in a situation where he had to step up, and he actually exceeded the person that left. Shawn Michaels left wrestling, came back in 2002.
Yep.
When he came back, this person exceeded all expectation and far exceeded him in terms of greatness in WWE. Yep. I saw this person live in Atlanta, Georgia, 2002, win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, he gonna say my man.
He's probably gonna go down as one of the greatest heels ever in WWE, point blank period.
Ever.
And I'm talking about the game himself, the King of Kings.
Yes, sir.
Triple H.
Wow.
And I couldn't even put Triple H on my list because I couldn't put him at number 1. I mean, come on, man.
Triple H.
You mean the guy that's married to the owner's daughter that could get
it? Doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Triple H got everything. He was at right place, right time ever since Shawn Michaels went and with that back injury. He was right place, right time, and it is what it is.
If it was football, if it was basketball, it wouldn't matter. It matters in wrestling because it's scripted and it's storytelling. So he got opportunities.
Shit in '96. No, they made him eat shit in '96. Remember, he was supposed to win the King of the Ring. Stone Cold won it instead.
The curtain call messed that up.
Yeah, no, Triple H, fantastic pick.
So overrated.
Pick.
So from the curtain call on, he worked his way in the system of WWF and exceeded all expectations. I can't give him number credit. Again, he's going to probably go down as, if not the greatest, one of the greatest heels ever in WWF history, along with the excellent work rate.
Exactly.
Nobody could tell a story in the ring in WWF like Triple H could. Like the ring, like he the greatest ring psychologist ever. In terms of, I'm talking about WWF. To me, he's the great like psychology. That's why he's the cerebral.
Wait, you got that motherfucker number 1, man?
No, he's number 2.
No, he got a number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Okay.
Hey, they call him the cerebral assassin for a reason. Ain't nobody could tell a story like Randy Orton. As far as like telling a story in the ring, Randy Orton would be my neck. But he learned that from Triple H. You know what I mean? Triple H is like he the man. I can't, you know, and I'm a WCW person. But hey, he's the man, man.
But you could be unbiased though, unlike this other guy that's on the line.
like when I'm taking it. I'm looking at it from the aspect of when Shawn left with the back injury, how he was still able to maintain DX, take DX and eclipse DX as a whole to become the Game. Now you could say, okay, maybe that was because he was smashing Steph at the time, whatever. You know what I mean? But he finessed it good. You know what I mean? And he was able to become what you see today. He is the man, like literally. So
Because
yeah, that's my
Daddy
number
said
2, man. The King of Kings. That's my number 2.
Oh, that was you, MD?
Yeah, that was me.
My number 2 is Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming, man.
Ultimate Warrior. Explain to me, boss. Explain to me.
I mean, he had a short run. He had the full package, though, man. He was entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I like his wrestling moves. He had the title. Like, why not?
Right. It seems like everybody you picking has steroids in their veins. What's going on here?
Hey, man, I think all of them use steroids one way or another. What you talking about?
You seem to have an affinity for the juice. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because he what was his move? The power press, the press.
Yeah, that gorilla press.
Gorilla press, throw the nigga over the shoulder, then hit the ropes and jump on them. That shit was the shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro.
But you gotta understand, Venkat, a lot of us was wrestling. We were enamored with these characters, man. When you see somebody like Ultimate Warrior, you can't help but go crazy with him shaking the rope
bro,
and
like, you know what
running
I'm
to the
saying?
ring. Come on, man.
Yeah, that
Man,
was nothing but energy right there.
Yeah. If Ultimate Warrior, if Ultimate Warrior, if he wasn't so stupid, he could have eclipsed Hogan.
Right.
He was on the verge. He had the momentum, but you know.
Yeah.
He could have eclipsed.
What had happened? Shit, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, Hogan was smart because once he got to that American type of, you know, it was it right there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Hulk Hogan plays politics, one of the most dastardly bastards in wrestling history, where he'll try to undercut an up-and-comer. He did it to Warrior, he did it to Undertaker. Undertaker told the story about Survivor Series where Ric Flair put the steel chair on the floor, on the ring, and you're supposed to pile drive him. So Undertaker tucked his neck in and did the pile driver, making sure he protected him. And he was like, "Oh, brother, you got me." And then he told Vince McMahon and all of them in the back that how he's like hurting them on purpose and all this. And Undertaker at that point had only been in the WWF for like a year.
Yeah, that wasn't that long. I remember that one. When he tombstone him on a chair. Yeah.
Right. So Hogan does like
he missed that chair by a foot.
Yeah, but the shady tactics of Hulk Hogan trying to like screw over an up and comer that may take his spot. And he's been doing that forever. He did it to Bret Hart too. So, you know, he's just been screwing guys over all over the place.
Well,
He has to
now
walk
we
a
done
match
come
with
down.
Hogan, man. You gotta keep it real.
Hogan is a piece of trash.
Remember that joint with him and Yokozuna? I think it was a Yokozuna.
Yeah,
What was it?
yeah. With the exploding
Bret Hart out of
camera.
the title.
Yo,
Screwed Bret Hart.
yeah.
So now we done come down to the nitty gritty. Number one, because I have respect and for the tradition of professional wrestling.
Oh Lord,
no doubt, the greatest wrestler to ever grace the sport of professional wrestling. The guy that's even so relevant, he's talked about in hip hop culture, none other than the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Oh, God damn it.
What?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, man.
Gosh. Oh
The human trash bag. The human trash bag.
The human trash
You can't separate the personal. You're thinking about you thinking about personal stuff. That's why I put Benoit on my list, because I took the personal out of it.
It's not just personal.
Ric Flair
has propped up a lot of people like Sting and whatnot, and I give him applause for that. But he's also undermined others too, like Cactus Jack, screwing him over in WCW days. So I don't buy it with Flair. Like, the more you learn about like the politics of wrestling, and you see like what the so-called top guys have done, John Cena is in that whole mix too, as far as doing these backstage politics that kind of screw over these other guys back there, and that's what wrestling is. Not like basketball. Like, you could talk bad about me as a basketball player, and I could still go out and score 30 points. You can't go out and do your thing in wrestling, because you have people you have to listen to in the back, and if you don't do what they say, you're gonna get cut out pretty quickly. So it's a different world. And when you see these guys that you think are top guys, and you see what the dirty tactics they do to get to the top and to stay on the top, is a real cutthroat business. It's something that the average fan isn't really thinking about, but I see it. And I think about it a lot. So those are the things that are weighing my mind. It's just stuff like that. Like, this just, Flair. I don't know, man. Every year I'm just going to be losing more respect for him the more I think about stuff.
Ric Flair, greatest of all time.
Oh Lord.
No.
That means all that shit you just said, he don't give a fuck about.
Oh shit.
So who's your number one?
My number one pick is for a guy that deserves it. From day one, he got the Rookie of the Year when he came in. He won the TV title a month into his run in WCW. And then he went all the way to the top in WWE. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. I thought about it for the longest. There's reasons not to put him there. Like, his run is not that long. As like with The Rock, Austin doesn't have that long run. The Austin 316 run is pretty much 96 up. But by 2000, 2001, the neck injury and all these other injuries, he was just a TV personality on screen for most. So he has like a 5-year run. But during those 5 years, it was the greatest 5-year run, greater than Hogan, greater than Flair, greater than Dusty. So I can't ignore that. So, and well worth it, because here's a guy, we talked about these disgusting pieces of dirt trash bags, Flair, Hogan. We talk about those guys, and then we go into a person like Steve Austin, who did it the right way. I can remember when he was a rookie, I used to watch him on ESPN back in 1990, 91. I would see him just being Steve Williams, Steve Austin, and he would, in that Texas promotion, just be struggling and working these matches. And then I saw him come into WCW. I saw him work his way up to TV title, US title, and then unceremoniously be dumped by Eric Bischoff. And then for him to make that turn and get into WWE and do what he did, you have to give him much props. And he did it the best that anybody ever did it. So he's my number one, and I'm sticking to it.
So I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, but here's one thing I gotta say, because you're being very disingenuous, and I caught you on this a couple of times.
There we go.
You bring up stuff that Hulk Hogan did. You know, I mentioned Hulk Hogan. First thing you say is rapist. Why, when you say Stone Cold, you don't talk about him being a wife beater?
He's not a wife beater.
What? He didn't beat up Deborah? He didn't beat up Deborah?
Allegedly.
All right.
Allegedly, yeah. He had problems with his first wife too. Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. He's habitual with this.
Do you have any court documents that prove that he's a wife beater?
Come on, man.
No, you don't.
I'm pretty sure. You got any court documents that Hogan is a rapist?
Rapist? Not Hogan. Vince McMahon is a rapist. Hulk Hogan is just a dirty piece of trash that used the N-word.
Oh my goodness, man.
So we can differentiate our pieces of trash because there's a bunch of them all over wrestling.
Oh, boy. I'm glad that me and you have not changed since the 90s. Because I'll never agree with you. I'll never agree with you. Never.
I don't know why you're so into these guys that are scumbuckets.
I mean, this is outright just ridiculous, man. For real.
Yeah.
But your Stone Cold pick is great. I can't even disagree with it.
Okay. All right, cool.
Can't disagree.
Cool. Oh, and
on you, Black Son.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say, because this man represents, I guess, really the last era besides Booker T, I would say Sting. It's just the era he represented, man. The coming in, he, like I said, fighting Muta. He fought some of the best. Booker T, he fought Hogan, he fought goddamn Rick Rude, he fought fucking Steiner, he fought Big Papa Pump, he fought goddamn, who did he not fight? Well, he didn't fight Undertaker, but everybody off that other circuit, like I said, WCW, he fought. He went down the list. So yeah, I got to put Sting up there. Plus the era he represented, plus his interviews, just promos. Yeah, I think, all, to me, a good package, man. I definitely have to represent Sting,
Great pick.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with that.
All right, man. Number one. I mean, he transcends what we know as wrestling, man, and he was able to cross genre. You bad if you can cross into the black sector and be an icon within the black sector of society in pro wrestling. From the 80s, whether it was the Greensboro Coliseum, whether it was Charlotte Civic Center, the Omni in Atlanta, like he's done it all. Like he's custom made from head to toe. What else can you say? You know what I mean? Like it's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Like
he's a trash bag.
He's the greatest of all time, man. And again, correlation between my number one and number two, because Triple H followed in the footsteps and was able to create that persona in the WWF. You know what I mean? Like Flair handed the baton to Triple H because it's a working model that works. You know what I mean? It's the blueprint on how to be a work over heel in pro wrestling. He's the prototype. That's Flair, the greatest.
Yep.
Kid stealing, Willing Dealing. I mean, what else can you say?
He got some fire promos.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah, he has some fire. Yeah, he kind of made this out. Yeah,
he has a new documentary on Peacock.
You know what I mean? Whenever you get the opportunity to walk that aisle, to style and profile, like it is what it is, man. But we ain't gonna never see that again. Ever. Yeah. Like they say it's this young guy in AEW right now named Mike Maxwell Jacob Friedman, but hey.
Well, don't even do it. Don't do it.
It's yet to be seen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Wait, Trevor. What do you have against him, MJT?
No, I don't have it. But if he's gonna use MJF in the same breath as Ric Flair, don't do it because
I'm not.
MJF.
I'm just telling you
MJF
what. I'm just telling you. No, I'm just telling you what the pundits are saying. Like, if there's anything close, it will be him. I'm just telling you what they're saying.
If it's anything close to Ric Flair, if it's anything close to Ric Flair, it would have been your number 2 pick in the game, Triple H. MJF is nothing but all MJF is. All MJF is a cuss word. That's it. All he can do is cuss. That's it. That's it.
I agree. Now, okay.
So Trevor,
if
he wasn't cursing, then you would say he would be?
No, I don't think he's that good. He's gonna be good, but he's not that good now.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so you don't feel like he's at that point yet?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Okay.
So yeah, man, like Flair, nobody has been able to do what Flair has done in terms of creating the working model as his gimmick is. Like it will forever be established as the greatest, point blank, period.
Yeah. So Ric Flair, we talk about people where they get their stuff from, like Dusty getting a lot of his stuff from Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali got a lot of his stuff from a wrestler, the first superstar of wrestling, Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George. He motivated and inspired many different people to copy his style or take things from him. Ric Flair obviously being one of them as well, and even the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. I say that because he's on my list. If we were going all the way up to 20, he's my number 20 just because of what he's done there. Because he's he pretty much said, I mean, if you think in his day, football was not as dominating as it is today. Wrestling was beating football hand over fist. Wrestling was a must-see TV. And the reason wrestling became must-see TV back in those times was because of Gorgeous George and the things that he did, the robes and the way he presented himself. And you see a lot of that in Ric Flair. You see a lot of that in Muhammad Ali, and it's just amazing. But that's why I bring up those guys, because like they're the ones that are really that really set it forward. Without him, you don't have this. So I just wanted to give credit to him. But yeah, Ric Flair, I'm sounding like I'm hating him, but I'm just like disappointed and angry more than anything, because just like everybody else, I love Ric Flair, but there's certain aspects that just throw me off with him.
A lot of that was Ole Anderson, right? A lot of that you're trying to pin on Ric Flair was Ole Anderson.
Nah, he's right there with Ole. He's right there with him. He was saying all kinds of crazy stuff as well. Ole Anderson, yes, he's another trash bag.
Ole is racist as hell.
Yeah, Ole is the racist one.
So is Flair. He got caught. Saying that multiple times.
All right, Solar, round us out.
I gotta go with the Undertaker, man.
Okay.
Number 1 character, best character ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got no. See, these lists so subjective, man, because it's always how you look at it. Venkat obviously looks at it through a bias. I hate WWF eyes, but
wait a minute, hold on now. If you look at my list, the top guy is a WWF guy. The number 3 guy is a WWF guy. My list has a medley of history in it. But you wouldn't appreciate that, being a biased fan goat boy of WWF. We're goating all over the place.
All right, man. Everybody give like 5 or 6 honorable mentions, like straight down.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton. I wish I could have put him on my top 10, but I can't. So Lesnar, Orton, the god of wrestling, Roman Reigns right now. Who else would I give the last 2? AJ. Oh God, AJ Styles. How could I forget AJ Styles? I don't know who else. I mean, because I can't put Triple H on an honorable mention, so I can't say Triple H. I don't know. I just got those 4 at honorable mention.
All right. Well, my honorable mentions are Gorgeous George, of course. I'll go AJ Styles. I'll go Brock Lesnar. Bret Hart. I would go Bill Goldberg. Rey Mysterio. Those would be my honorable mentions.
I could put Mysterio on mine. Yeah, definitely. I forgot about him.
Damn. Well, shit, I'm gonna have to throw damn Eddie on mine. Eddie, of course, the Iron Sheik, both Iron Sheiks. Art Anderson, Mr. Perfect, awesome. Rock, and Brock Lesnar.
Arn Anderson is the man. I wish I could. I wish I could have put him on the list, but he is like awesome.
Yeah, honorable mentions, man. I got Eddie. I got Eddie Ray. Mr. Perfect. Hogan and Rock. You know, the reason they make my top 10 because I don't, even though they were able to like transcend, but to me, they're not good enough in the ring. So I can't put them on my top 10. So Holt, Rock, Malenko, and that's it.
Yeah, Malenko is awesome. He's awesome.
Honorable mentions: Jake the Snake, Hitman. I was a fan of Flying Brian. And,
hell yeah,
yeah.
Who else? Who else I had? Okay, Papa Shango, and he said one more. I'm just talking about this is my favorite. This is my favorite ones, man.
Oh my goodness.
Papa Shango and El Matador.
Yo, Tito. That's Tito Santana. That's not Santana.
Yeah, but he didn't. No, but he specifically said El Matador. He not viewing him as the Tito Santana run.
Oh my God.
Well, fellas, I did my over 2 hours. We were talking about keeping this at 2 hours, so.
Yep.
You know,
we ain't even do a tag team, man. We supposed to do a tag team.
No, we gotta do a tag team the next time.
No. Let's just do 5. Do top 5 tag teams. Just list off your 5 instead of the whole breakdown, just so we get an idea. Just do it real quick.
Steiner Brothers number 1. The Road Warriors number 2. Not LLD. The Brain Busters number 3. The Revival number 4. I don't even know who the Revival is.
Oh shit.
And number 5, I gotta say the Usos.
Usos?
Yeah, the Usos are tremendous.
Over Heart Foundation? Over
Jimmy
Midnight
and Jay.
Express?
Yeah. Oh, Midnight Express was regional. They're not. Come on, man.
I'm talking about the Midnight Express with Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane. That Midnight Express.
Dennis Condrey and Eaton were better.
Nah,
I like Dennis Condrey better, man.
Nah,
Condrey was
Sweet Stan
better.
Lane had those kicks, had those judo kicks.
Yeah, and I blame him for the Young Bucks. So there you go.
The Young Bucks is not that bad. It's not that bad.
Worse. Worse.
All right, so my top 5 tag teams, I'm going to say Steiner Brothers, of course, by far. Road Warriors, they're just iconic. Number 3, British Bulldogs, because whenever you had a good match, it's usually British Bulldogs or Heart Foundation involved. Number 4, I would say, I'm going to go Doom. Number 5, I'm going to say Maybe I'll go either Heart Foundation or Midnight Express. They're they're interchangeable to me.
Man, y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. Man, they give me my 5, man. Y'all smoking dope, man. Goddamn, number 1, Demolition. Number 2, Harlem Heat. How y'all leave out Harlem Heat, man? Y'all tripping. Number 3, War Warriors. Number 4, Steiner Brothers. And number 5, British Bulldogs.
That's a solid list right there, Black.
That's a good list.
Yeah, that
y'all
is.
have Harlem Heat on there, man. What's wrong with y'all?
All right, tag teams. Number 1, Steiners. Number 2, Road Warriors. Number 3, Heart Foundation. Number 4, Harlem Heat. Number 5, I'll probably go Brain Buster, number 5.
Yeah, the Brain Busters were awesome, man.
The Horsemen.
Man,
I'm calling them Brain Busters. That's the Horsemen.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Brain Busters in WWF. They were awesome.
Yeah.
The tag teams in the 80s were dope, man. Like that's you could make a top. You put me on the spot with that, but had I had real time to think, my list would have been different because I would have probably included the Heart Foundation, and I forgot about the British Bulldogs. And wrestling. You can go to that. You can go to that Survivor Series. What was it? Survivor Series '89, where they had the 10-man. They had the 20 team tag team match.
20-man tag.
You could 20-man elimination, but it was 10 teams. Yeah, you could go to that though. That was and every one of them are top 10.
Yeah. And you really can't put Tully and Arn like as a cohesive team in the Horsemen because one time Tully had the TV title, and then the other time Arn had the TV title. So
and Tully normally had the US title. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, damn. All right, man. Well, that was so. Just so y'all know, Wednesday we're supposed to do a year-end review, but I got an interview Wednesday.
Man, I get my top 5 then, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got the Heart Foundation, Road Warriors, Steiner Brothers, and it's not in this order. I like the Rockers and Harlem Heat.
Yeah, Rockers are good.
No, they were not. They lost every match.
But Rockers are a good team.
No, they weren't.
It was scripted that way, and they got robbed of never being the champions.
They can't win the championship if they can't win a match.
Well, you remember they did win the title, but the rope broke, so they couldn't show the match on TV.
Yeah, that was crazy. Just let it break and just be real about it.
Yeah, and instead of refilming it, they just never gave it back to that was so stupid.
Yeah, that is stupid.
You know,
that sounds like Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. All right, fellas, but I'll get up with you. Hey, Black Sun, make sure when you tag this video though, you tag it with the wrestling promotions.
Oh, 10-4. I will. I'm gonna get on it right now.
All right, fellas.
All right, peace.
All right,
peace.
All right, y'all.
All right.
All right, then, Kip. All right, y'all. That's it, man. We will see y'all. So we out. Peace, y'all.
The Arena of Six.
Oh yeah, Black Sun in the hizzle, oh the shizzle dizzle.